you could talk to your younger self, what would you tell him?
Shit him. Wouldn't tell him anything. If I told him something, he would think he could sit back on his ass and not do shit. But it was that mystery and that thought that shit might not be possible. We don't know what's possible. Let's push it until it's not possible. That's what kept me going. So no, I wouldn't tell him shit.
We know Ernest so well, and we know if he says he can do something, he can do it.
Ernest will not quit. Ernest has been faced with many different challenges. He will just follow it through until he's got where he wants to be.
My name's Ernest Brenchley, and I'm going to be attempting the world's first 9 flips.
We're usually the first people that he will phone and tell that he's achieved it.
I'll talk to you later.
He told me before we went that he's going to pitch the idea of doing 9 flips. I'm like, I'm on that. Let's make it happen.
Do you reckon it's possible then?
What, 9 flips?
Yeah.
100%. I've always thought it's been possible.
But obviously, we need a trampoline to make it possible. So that's where the doubt sets in.
There was nothing really that had been said. It was mostly you coming here to talk about the idea and see what's gonna come out of it. Basically, we didn't really have 100% of hope because we didn't have the green light yet, but I was very excited because I knew that something was gonna come. Just didn't know quite what.
The holes are in between.
I think 5 mil, 4 mil, 5 mil.
What's a rebound like?
5 mil.
5 mil. What
Yeah. 5 squares like a centimetre. Like you fit your fucking finger.
Yeah, I'm just hoping it's not cheese grater.
It will be.
Well, actually, it wasn't cheese grater, which is very surprising. Most like powerful, really good trampolines are cheese graters, and what that is, people watching who don't know, is where like it scrapes your back when you're doing boom. This one was actually really smooth, which is really surprising.
Well, we started with a brief. So Ernest came in with the brief that he thought he could do 9, but then he needed a bigger trampoline. So it should be 25 by 15 feet with the original specs. And what he mentioned was that he should be able to walk underneath the trampoline. So that was where we went. That was the starting point.
First time I heard about this whole event, Ernest just told me that BERG had made a trampoline, a new custom trampoline, and something clicked in my head already. Like I already knew, like, oh, it's gonna be for 9 flips.
And you mentioned you want the holes to be as big as possible, right?
Yep, pretty much.
Yeah, so we found that we can actually order 4 mil.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Same material.
Same material, yeah.
Is it
Same material, just smaller.
stitched differently? After now everything said and done, I was terrified because I knew that mat, that's nothing compared to rebound. That's not what we wanted. But I had full faith that with enough tension, it would work. No, we're going for the bigger hole option with the smaller strings.
No, we're going for the smaller one.
No,
you wanted to get the smaller one.
The holes are the same, the strings are thinner. That's the only difference. And the only reason I went for that
No, you
one...
went for 4mm, right?
It's 4mm strings.
Oh, I
the
see.
Holes,
Okay, yeah.
The holes, they vary.
Well, you want the holes to be big for the airflow, which is good.
Yeah.
So...
What my theory behind
yeah.
it was the thinner string because of the rebound.
Yeah. Makes sense.
Is it high?
Yeah. I would jump that.
Yeah. The only thing I could see was the big fuck off building behind me and me thinking I need to go higher than that. And this is not a small building. It's a very high building and I've never had my height shown to me in that way. I'm trying to picture it. I'm trying to see the trampoline, see the height. Just imagining what the octuple was in terms of height and how much I travelled. And seeing this is just giving me the most confidence.
Every time we go on a super jump, we make sure that we'll get the double bouncers, make sure he keeps the feeling of how it is to go really high and just to not get that fear that he used to get back in the day of going too high, but there's none of that anymore.
Yeah, you don't need a big frame.
No.
It's just like the fire scroll and the rebound and stuff. I'm just used to seeing like this fuck off huge frame.
Yeah.
It's a massive frame.
We got the concrete, so that's going to be the stability.
Mostly the frame, isn't it? Yeah.
And you only need something to hook the springs in.
Pretty much everything he sets his mind to do, he will completely focus on until he achieves it.
Do you know what? I had an idea.
Until he achieves the absolute best result that he possibly can.
For the coloring, we know that this supplier can actually do it in black and orange.
Yeah, funny story. The mat was actually meant to be a black jumping bed with orange stripes, but China messed it up. Ended up being green with white stripes. The E-rings,
triangles.
yeah, the triangles. Yeah. They look a lot more like better attached. I don't even know.
Yeah. This was the sample.
Yeah.
It's actually the same.
It's mostly the same.
Yeah, it's the
but
same.
Then it's also like this. This is like a lot thicker than I thought it was going to be as well, which I'm kind of happy
the
about.
same as what we saw. It might be a bit thicker. I haven't measured it, but
Roughly, but yeah,
Roughly,
what I'm comparing it to, because I wasn't comparing it to that. Just then I was comparing it to, I've just come off the rebound. I was on the rebound 2 days ago.
Right.
And I was just taking a look at everything and like really thinking about it. And I was like, shit, this is nothing like what the tram's going to be. But now looking at this, it's actually scarily similar.
Yeah?
Like it's actually quite similar. The only difference is that it's not a one-string mat, but everything else looks roughly the same. It's a lot softer than I thought it was going to be. It definitely needs some more tension. That's the only thing. Yeah, that was another moment where I was like, okay, I'm not sure if the tramp's going to be good enough, because it was way too loose. Like, we put all the springs on, whatever, and I was so excited to jump on it for the first time, but then when I did, I was like, shit, this is too loose. Need to tighten this as soon as possible, and I said that, and we tightened. I even sat there for like 20 minutes on the day and went round every spring and made it tighter. 3, 2. Yeah, so let's just put all of them to the max setting. A week later-ish, like when we started testing, we ended up just taking all the extenders off.
Yes, I remember when they designed the spring extenders, I thought it was really neat, a really neat design, because we hadn't seen any like that on the traditional Super Tramp. They'd have like a string thing, but they invented like an actual like metal rod, which you could adjust to so many different settings. A great idea. But when they came to do the test with Ernest, he found that it was a bit too loose.
It's good. Once it's tightened a little bit, it's gonna work. I really have faith that it's gonna work.
Maybe take out the spring extenders?
I don't think that's gonna do too much. There's only like that much difference. We might. I think we can better add more springs, making it as tight as it went, and then that still wasn't tight enough. So we ended up ordering more springs and putting them on.
Since there's so many springs in there, but we got to figure out how many springs to put in there. We can add more, we can take out more. We've changed the tension of the springs already like 3 times, from the loosest to the tightest setting. Comes out that the tightest is the best for Ernest.
So probably we add more springs.
Yeah, right now they're adding more springs, and it's all about, I don't know, mostly just figuring out the bounce. Yep.
Yeah, so the V-mount is actually 4.5 by 6.5 meters, and this one is so much bigger, so it's insane.
Mm-hmm. There we go. That's Janice's first reaction. Janice just said it's better than he thought. I need to have 100% trust in someone before they get on the trampoline and support me with this. I need to get everybody here to test this, otherwise I'm never going to know. Basically, because I had 2 DBs, but they weren't great DBs, and also I didn't really have the weight between them to get me height. So initially we had 4 double bounces as the idea, as it's even in every corner. It's been the most we've ever used before on an actual flip. We thought that got you the best rotation, that got you everything you needed to get the most height out of the trampoline. But we're just thinking, we don't know if the DB is way enough.
Yeah.
Like to push the tram down far enough.
Right. The current DB.
Yeah.
Right.
But like the DB is on the day like the same way. Literally the day before, we discovered 6 DB. Worked so well on it. Everyone just sort of like looked at each other. We were like, Stein said, if you need a 6th DB, I'm here. Got on, and immediately added an extra 2 meters. So even on the day we didn't know if it was possible.
Bro, you're flying.
Well, it's just the best combination for anything, really. but no, with double bouncing, Dutch and English DB is the best combination. And for the pad throwing, we got Janice on the pad, amazing. But no, we're all really good friends, and we've always been good mates, so always get along. And we worked really hard as a team. Like, it was a big team effort with the double bouncers, the pad throwing, just to work out what is the best way to do it. Because obviously we're used to just getting on the tramp, kind of just bouncing and just being supportive. But this was more of like being supportive, but also making sure that we get it right. And so we just spent like 2 full days just doing it over and over again until we found the right setup, and it worked.
It took us all day yesterday.
Yeah, pretty much.
We had to wait for the sun to fuck off.
Yeah.
Then once the sun fucked off, we just went.
Tested every type of option.
Basically every
yeah.
setup possible.
Yeah.
We had Jesse and Stein at the back, who were probably the most heaviest, strongest out of us, and me, Lars, and Matt at the front. And that was just the best way of doing it in terms of weight for some reason. We did try both, but for some reason it wouldn't work. So yeah, I don't know.
So basically same size.
Oi! Yeah! Come!
Yeah, it feels nice. That's what we need.
Yeah, I like that.
Like a happy rabbit.
Yeah, I like that. It's way softer. It's softer than I even thought it was going to be. That's nice. That's nice. I don't know if the foam is too soft though. Is this the harder one or the... Okay. I like it. Yeah, we got to test it out.
Let's just give it a try, yeah.
Yeah. There's some flips onto it. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't think people realize how much of stress it has given us to work out exactly the perfect timing for everybody to double bounce at the same time. Everything had to be perfect. Like if you mess up the bounce only like a second later than the rest, for example, it could mess up the whole flip, and like it could turn out dangerous for him even. So I was definitely nervous on the day, yeah. In terms of training, I think Lars definitely helped with that. As soon as we kind of figured out the perfect timing, Lars was kind of giving us like a sign like, wait, now bounce. And you can hear him scream every clip over and over again. No! So when he did that 8 flips to his back and he landed on that pad like badly, and he hurt himself actually, I thought it wasn't going to happen anymore because I saw he was in pain.
You can go harder.
The only thing is that Ernest can walk again. That's the only thing we need. Then we can make it happen.
He took a good break, and the moment he got back on the trampoline and we saw him jump again without pain, that was the switch for me again, like, okay, it's gonna happen.
Guys, that's it. No answer. You are here. Let's go, watch out.
Don't be stupid, but also do be stupid. Like, take risks, but don't. I don't know what the best way of putting it is. Like, we're all risk takers. Everyone who flips is risking, something. But just don't do it unless you know you can't. And just enjoy it. Be inspired by other flippers. Go for your best tricks. Do it only if you feel comfortable, and keep progressing.
I think the main thing that those 9 years have taught me is how to train my mind to do something. My name's Ernest Brenchley, and I just did the world's first 9 flips. Hugging my dad, him saying like, I know you're gonna be safe, but just in case, give me a hug. It was quite emotional.
9 keer doet hij een salto in 1 sprong. Dat is toch echt ongekend. De trampolinespringer laat trouwens weten dat hij pro is en dat je dit vooral niet thuis moet doen.
He saw freestyle trampolining as being the next big thing for everybody, and for all kids of his age and his generation. So he's a clever lad, very clever lad.
I'm so proud of you, and I know that you'll give it your best shot, Ernest. If it's achievable, then you will achieve it. And if it's not achievable, then you've given it your best shot.